Hi, 8th graders. So I am here to talk to you guys about your specific assignments for this week. At this point, you should have watched Mr. Steele's video and have an understanding of the overview of the new folders that we've shared and some of the materials. So I am going to first just for some housekeeping items. So if you chose the theatrical version to listen to the Diary of Anne Frank, great choice. The one thing is this link will bring you to our anthology, our reading series, the whole table of contents. And so you'll need to scroll down to Unit 3 and you'll see two parts. So part 1 of the Diary of Anne Frank and part 2. So just scroll down to Unit 3 and you'll see it right there. What I am going to go into is the calendar. Before I get into that, this personal experiences, the directions page is really nice because it sets the stage, sets a purpose for this project so that you have an understanding of why we're going to read these texts. And it also bolds and highlights some really important dates when big checkpoints are throughout this process. The calendar will look at just the first week. So for today or tomorrow, depending if you're watching this Sunday or Monday night, today you are expected to read or listen to the first portion of the text. And then you have one assignment that's due by 3:30 today, and that's your daily journal quote. I'll go over that in just 1 second. So we've spaced the readings out. So just on your core days. So really you have 2 days to read approximately 20 pages or to listen to approximately 20 minutes of audio. By Friday, in your readings, we would like you either to be to page 65 or to be about 60 minutes in to your listening of Anne Frank. On Friday, you have a response to text that will be due. The response has very clear expectations. So what I've done is I've placed an organizer at the top and gave you some notes and some suggestions. Below that, I gave you space to write out a separate paragraph from your graphic organizer, which structures your response. And then I've provided a student example. So you will need to provide textual evidence for the prompt. You'll have 2 reader responses. If you're listening to audio, you might just want to jot notes and paraphrase. Obviously, you'll have to just reference what was said. We're not expecting direct quotes, but paraphrase what was said in the text. So to set a purpose for your reading this week, you'll want to look for conflict. So obviously, our characters are going to face some conflict internally and externally. So what you want to look for is any really significant moments that propel the plot, that tell us something about the character, because your question is going to revolve around conflict. So just look for different ways that your character deals with the conflict they encounter. So that's really the overall for the week. I just wanted to quickly go over to the assignment that's due on Monday. That is in your assignments folder. It's the first one, so it's at the top, and it's probably the only one published at this point for you guys to see. What I did for this assignment is I gave you an overview of the expectation, 3 things I want you to include, and then a sample below. The one thing, so some of these will be shared, and so I just want your first name and last initial. So if I do share it like on Twitter or something like that, your response is, you've just been doing amazing work. So I want to celebrate that as much as possible, but I want to make sure that your names are left out. But first names are okay, last initials perfectly fine. So that's the one thing that's due at 3:30 on Monday. Along with your readings, keep up with your readings so you don't get too overwhelmed. There's plenty of time. And then your next assignment that you will actually submit will be Friday, and that's your reader response. All right. We are here once again. I know we say this just about every video at 10:30 and 1:30. Please pop in, say hi, ask questions, let us know what we can do to help you. Do your best work. So we miss you guys so much. We'll talk to you soon.